Let's say you're in the backcountry waiting for a rescue to arrive. Let's say you can hear the rescuers. Maybe you could even see them. Maybe they're just 100 feet away, but maybe they can't hear or see you. Maybe you're even unconscious at that point. Well, what if you had an AirTag on you? What if rescuers, when they came into range of it, could play a sound on there to help locate you, maybe even follow an arrow to your exact spot? Well, that's the potential you have with the $29 11.8 gram AirTag. The problem is Apple doesn't make it easy for rescuers to use this capability, but there is a workaround. An AirTag can't initiate a rescue. It's not an SOS device. It doesn't have GPS. It's not a satellite communicator, but an AirTag can help finish a rescue off. That's because it emits an electronic signal or a chirp every few minutes using Bluetooth at shorter ranges. Here are the ranges that I'm getting for the AirTag and the AirTag 2. Now, if your phone is in range of the AirTag, it simply takes the position and time and updates it on a map. But what if your phone is not there? What if the AirTag is out of range? Then it gets interesting, because what Apple does is they use their network of over a billion devices, iPhones, iPads, to listen for these chirps. The chirps come out, they're encrypted, they're anonymous. If another device from another user hears a chirp, it simply takes the position and the time and relays it to the Find My Cloud, and then you can see where that item is on a map. So this happens across the world, and people have done really cool videos where they'll put an AirTag in a package and they'll mail to North Korea and track it. The technology is really cool here, but that's how it updates its position. But let's say you're looking for the AirTag and you're in Bluetooth range. What'll happen is when it comes in range, the button to play a sound will be enabled in your Find My app. And then you can just hit play a sound. It'll play a sound on the device. The AirTag 2 is much louder than the AirTag 1, and you could use your ears to find where it is. And as you get closer, there's something called an ultra wideband chip in the AirTag, and that will allow you to find the AirTag with precision. And you probably have seen this where you follow the arrow on the phone. This arrow will lead you directly to the AirTag along with a distance and a range. It's an amazing technology that's not only helped people find their luggage, but it's also helped people find things a lot more precious, like their pets. And if it can find a pet, why can't it find a human? The hardware certainly supports it, but Apple chose to focus on tracking items, not humans, and they put things like privacy at the forefront. You don't want people tracking you with an AirTag, and in fact, if somebody puts an AirTag on you that's not yours, you will get an alert that you are being tracked. So for rescuers out there with an iPhone looking for you, they can't just find a AirTag signal and go towards that. It's encrypted. Not even Apple can get into that encryption. So they have to have permission to use that. Now, there are other ways that search and rescue can detect a signal. Not all search and rescue teams have this, but they can use technology that sniffs out phone signals, AirTag signals, watch signals from a drone that hovers above to pinpoint where you are. But this isn't common everywhere. Maybe it will be in the future, but it's a neat technology nonetheless. Now, back on the AirTag, if it is lost, you will be able to mark it as lost in your Find My app. You can even get notified if somebody comes in range and updates the position. You can also create a link that you can share with other people. You see this for airlines. If you lose your luggage or they lose your luggage, you can share that link with them and it will help them find it. That sounds like a great tool for search and rescue. The only problem is you can't generate that link if the item is with you. You can't mark it lost if you have it with you with your phone. You could turn off Bluetooth, do some other things, but it's kind of clunky and not reliable. But this is where the workaround happens. Now, let me just tell you before we start, you can't use your AirTag to signal SOS. You need to use another device to let people know where you are, but you can use the AirTag when they do get closer. Examples of signaling an SOS, you can use a satellite-enabled smartphone to signal SOS. It will include your location in it. Maybe you have something like a Garmin InReach where you have a breadcrumb trail and rescuers can follow that and figure out where you are. Or maybe it's just as simple as you told a family member what trail you're on and rescuers are searching all up and down that trail. Ideally, you're letting people know where you're hiking before you go out. They should call 911 if you haven't been home by a specified time. But the workaround is this. Instead of you having the AirTag associated with your phone, take the AirTag and have your emergency contact, a spouse or a relative, register that AirTag with their phone, and then you take the AirTag and you take the AirTag hiking with you. Once you're heading out to the trail, you'll get a notification saying that somebody is tracking you with the AirTag. That's a great thing. In fact, your loved one can track you as long as you're in cell phone range, which could be on a trail, almost in real time as you go. But once you go out of cell phone range, you still get the benefits of the short range beacon features. Now, if you're out there and you have an emergency, you ask for help. If you're doing it on a Garmin or using Overwatch, they will call your emergency contact. And when your emergency contact picks up, all they have to say is the person you're looking for has an AirTag. I have it and I can share it with rescuers. And then anyone who has an iPhone basically in that rescue party just needs to share their ID with Overwatch or Garmin and then get access to that AirTag. And then they can do all of those things, those precision finding things. Once they come into close range, they should be able to play a sound on the device and then use the arrow to find the person directly. And it's really that simple, but it could be obviously smoother. A couple hoops we have to jump around, and I hope that Apple addresses this. It's not something that's a hardware limitation. It's something that they can just do. Maybe you could generate a link that you could, keep open, that you could share with search and rescue personnel. But the great thing about it is that anyone in search and rescue who's looking for you just needs an iPhone. They don't need any kind of special gear like a Reco reflector device or a 121.5 megahertz beacon or locator. They just need an iPhone to find you. And that's, I think, a pretty powerful thing. And whenever I think of this technology, I think of Julian Sands. He was known for being an actor. He was also an outdoors person. He lost his life around the Mount Baldy area in the winter. Took 5 months to find him, and he was only 1,300 feet or so away from a very, very popular trail. If he had something like an AirTag and rescuers knew that, they could have maybe found him immediately. Or if he had the AirTag and they didn't find him, that range from that AirTag could have potentially reached the people on that popular hiking trail, and somebody else could have updated his position. Now, 1,300 feet is a little bit out of the range, but it is possible. The range depends on, the organic material between you and the person. You get the idea. It would have changed the odds and it would have changed the scenario dramatically if they could have honed in on exactly where he was. I think the rescuers probably went pretty close to him, closer than 1,300 feet for sure. So would I trust my life to an AirTag as my only rescue device? Absolutely not. Would I invest $29 and clip it onto my pack and tell my wife to share it in case of an emergency? That seems like a reasonable value proposition for me, and I am doing that now. Now, I use the AirTag in conjunction with other tools. I have a Garmin InReach. I have a satellite-enabled smartphone. I carry a PLB with me, a personal locator beacon. A personal locator beacon is interesting. There's no subscription needed. When you hit the SOS button, it will broadcast an SOS in your position over satellite. And when rescuers get closer, it actually broadcasts a homing signal out that they can pinpoint on 121.5 megahertz. But the searchers need to have equipment that looks for that signal, but that's an option. And, there's other things you can do as well. Bring a whistle with you. Blow the whistle if you hear people. Sometimes devices have sirens on them that if you hear rescuers and they don't hear you or see you, activate the siren. Also, wear bright clothing. Wear, orange, reds. Those things are easy to spot, whether on the ground or from the air. Also, learn the universal signals for communicating with a helicopter. Last thing you want to do is have a rescuer come and then wave and it thinks that you're okay and they fly away. Sounds crazy, but it has happened. All right, guys, that's what I got. Thank you to everyone on Patreon who makes these videos and guides possible. I could not do it without your help. Stay safe, and I will see you out on the trail.